What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 69, and today we're returning with a massive treble header in all three of our domestic competitions as we face Manchester United in the Premier League, Leicester City in the FA Cup, and then Arsenal in the second leg of our Carabao Cup semi-final. Before we get to the game today, shout out Norwich for getting on off camera. We had one game, we drew 0-0. Very quick. Of course, in the last episode, you saw our timid 1-0 loss at home to Manchester City and then the 3-1 win against the Baggies in the FA Cup third round replay. And the game was on the weekend. And due to the cluster of fixtures we've got to end the month of January, which is just a crazy month with so many big games. We picked a strong lineup for the game at Stamford Bridge, and Zangrani made an incredible save in the game. Other than that, we saw no goals. So there you go. After the goalless draw, as you can see, we remain in 5th place. There are 16 games to go in the Premier League. We are ahead of Manchester City and Bournemouth on goal difference, and we have a game in hand on both of those teams. Spurs are only 1 point behind us right now. We have a game in hand on them as well. So 4 teams separated by 1 point in the race for Europa League football. And as for the race for Champions League football, we're 6 points off Liverpool and 4 points off today's first opponents, Manchester United, in 4th place. Arsenal and Chelsea might be about to pull away and go for a two-horse race in terms of the Premier League title, although Liverpool do have a game in hand, as do Manchester United. But yeah, I'm targeting 4th place come the end of the year with 4 points behind. But if we're going to get it, we need to win today. So yeah, very quick introduction for today's episode, because again, there are 3 games to squeeze in, and as we know, it's going to be very tough to hopefully get 3 wins from 3. And well, as you see by my lineup here, after the last episode, I'm just going to do it. In the last episode, I talked very great detail about the experience I've had playing this year's FM, and when sometimes you put out a totally what appears to be ham-fisted and weakened lineup, you can often get a result against a big team. We'll see what happens today, but after what I said in the last episode, I bet we get smashed 8-0 today to disprove my theory completely. On the injury report, Brewster is coming back from a knock, and therefore he's not going to play today. Hopefully he'll be okay for the weekend game against Leicester in the Cup, and Bamber is still away at the African Cup of Nations. Everyone else is fighting fit. So this will be our team for the game. It's going to be a 4-1-4-1 gegenpress system that we use, and this is our lineup. Dean's in goal. The back four is Warburton, Basia, Akuaku and Larici, with Alex Telles as a deep line playmaker, and he was there against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg and ended up on a 7.1, I believe. So maybe Telles, now in his later years with lack of pace, should be a midfielder. He's got the stats to play there, to be fair to him. O'Connor and Sadi are our midfield duo just above Telles, with Jokic on the left, Dembele on the right, and Abbey is our lone striker. And on the bench, Zangrandi, Godfrey, Madu, Longstaff, Mount, Gray and Crowley as well. I'm testing out the theory today, and I can rest my starters with the game against Leicester in the Cup as well. I think we'd lose regardless, but let's see how the backup brigade get on. Come on, you Canaries. Again, twice in the past 30 days, we have used a backup side against a big team and got a win. So can we make it 3 wins in a row using, again, a very strange lineup, to say the very least? I wouldn't be surprised, but again, now that I'm sort of anticipating it, I can see us getting smashed like 6-0. First highlight comes to the Red Devils after our cleared free kick. João Felix on the run. That's a brilliant ball to Gravenberch. And Dean Henderson bails us out on the 1-on-1 and turns it behind for a corner. That all started after a free kick we had here and almost resulted in a Manchester United goal. This is how bad we've been with set pieces throughout the course of the save. Even when we've got one in a dangerous area, there's more chance of the opposition getting a goal. Anyway, another free kick for us here a few minutes later. This one in more of a central position. Alex Telles is going to take it. Oh, it's off the post, and Harry Kane scrambles it clear. Basia to Drew Warburton in quite an action-packed beginning to the game. He finds Karamoko Dembele, and Dembele shot saved, and Abbey turns in the rebound, and the backup brigade are in front against Manchester United. Unbelievable. I told you I wanted to test the theory out today. You saw briefly in the last episode our passive, timid 1-0 defeat to Manchester City, and then of course with the backup team beating West Brom by 3-1 in the replay in the Cup. And today, here against Manchester United, we lead, and again, look at the statistics. More of the ball, more of the shots, more on target, and looking the better team. The body language is decent. I'm telling you, I know it's a bit crazy, but I honestly believe when you go with lineups like this, you got more of a chance of winning than if you use your senior team. We're leading at the break 1-0. Going to say nothing to the boys at the break, just let them go straight out there for the second half. I fully expect Manchester United to get back in the game, and they might do so straight away, which they've done, as Rafael, that Spanish centre-half who we've talked about, gets his first goal for the club. He could have been doing that for us, but instead he does it against us as he's off the mark in a red shirt. Correa's corner whipped into the back stick, and Rafael turns it in with a free header. We are so bad at defending set pieces still, and it's 1-1. I do expect the Red Devils to turn the game on its head now in the second half, but either way, it's just crazy. I certainly would take the point as Stephen O'Connor finds Alex Telles, so I would have taken a point pre-game, especially with this lineup here, but I can see someone winning this, and it could have been us had Abby got more weight and conviction behind that header there, as it tamely goes into the gloves of David De Gea. Still 13 minutes to go, and it's still 1-1. Corner for the Red Devils, though. And if we lose the game through 2 set pieces, which we almost did, had Norwich not made a golden goal-saving block on the line, it would have been 2-1. Can we hang on to the point here with the backup brigade, or can we win it? Madu on the ball, stepping in field. And De Gea saves it, and it's cleared away. Very, very dramatic into the game, and here come the Red Devils on the break. Oh no, don't lose it now, lads. Don't lose it now. Oh God, throw in our half. Never a good sign, is it? As we look to play out from the back here with Larici sending it long for Karamoga to chase, but it's going to be won back by the Red Devils, and I can see them nicking this in stoppage time. But again, when you look at the stats here, we've not played badly at all. We played just as good as the visitors with an absolutely atrocious lineup. Nato takes it around Warburton, and I can see Manchester United nicking this. Golden chance there, tap down left, space to cross, in it goes. Kane turns it in after the deflection, and there it is. Manchester United are going to get away with a win then, and it is going to be 2-1 the final score. We're going to drop out of the Europa League places, but you know, I'm not mad about this. I'm not mad about this. Yes, we had a weakened lineup out there, but again, we played really well. We were leading, and we were seconds away from a win, and a set-piece goal and a deflected cross ends up being our downfall. Not mad at all. Not even disappointed. You know, absolutely atrocious lineup out there, and we were seconds away from claiming what would have been an absolutely priceless point. But you know what? Again, this is just trying to prove my theory right here. I think that when you use a backup team like this, your side team to give more of an effort against the big teams. I don't know exactly what causes that. As Madu, oh, yes. Well, it's a very lucky goal. But I think Manchester United's second was quite lucky, to be fair. Samuel Madu runs around 3 red shirts and slots it in the near post for his 4th goal of the season. Now can we cling on to a point? Yes, we can indeed. And with an absolutely trash lineup, with Alex Telles playing deep-lying playmaker and averaging a 7.0 for the game, Norwich City have claimed a brilliant draw against Manchester United. I know it's a strange theory, but I truly do believe it. If you pick a backup team and a basically ham-fisted lineup against the big teams, you've got more of a chance of getting a result. 2-2 with that lineup. What an absolutely brilliant point. There have been so many games in this series where that has been the case as well. This is not a one-off. We've seen it on multiple occasions throughout the course of this series, in previous seasons and again in this season as well. Being able to get a result, as Porto want to take Jokic. He's out of contract at the end of next season. Interesting. He'll turn 24 in the summer. Obviously, we don't really get to play him much as we don't often operate with wingers. But I tell you what, I wouldn't be against getting a deal negotiated here, because we signed him for a very cheap deal. And if I can get 20 million for him, which is over the valuation, and also let's say we get a percentage of next sale of like 50%. Then I'd definitely take that. Yeah, I'd take that. Half of whatever he goes for next will be coming to us. 20 mil, that's well over what we got, what we paid for him. I'll take that. I am definitely going to have to make some signings before deadline day, because we're going to have a really, really thin squad for the second half of the campaign, and with so many games coming in Europe and domestically as well. I'll need to find some replacements for the guys that we've sold in this window. But yeah, sorry, back to my original point. You know, we've seen it throughout the course of this save so many times, and I know it sounds like an utter batshit theory, but I believe it. Based on results I've had and based on what I've seen, I genuinely believe when you pick a backup team, you've got more of a chance of getting a result against one of the big teams. And I should say, what I mean is when you're using a weakened team, if you will, not someone who has the same amount of ability. Oh man, and just before I get to the Leicester game as well, Mason Mount has come to me with a written transfer request in hand, and I always accept it. I always accept a transfer request. I never reject them, and that will be the case with Mason Mount. But despite that being the case, I'm still not going to sell him. Like, sure, I'll accept it, I'll sign it, and I'll put it in my bloody window in my office if you want. But Mason, at the end of the day, mate, you've got 2.5 years here, and I'm not selling you to a team that is one of our main rivals for European football. You're on 140 grand a week right now. I mean, you could not be getting paid more. And you're an absolutely brilliant player. I love you to pieces. I'm sorry, but you're staying here, whether you think you're going or not. The one player that looks like he is leaving is Jokic. I'm actually going to delay this deal until transfer deadline day. When you get a bid in Football Manager, by the way, possibly could have sold him for more in the end. When you get a deal in a window, you can often delay the sale 3 times. So it gives you like an extra 3 weeks before you eventually confirm it. And it's just a way of, say you're again in a January window, for example, it's a way of, prolonging your player's career with you until they go. And it's the same when signing players as well. You can often delay it for 3 weeks, which I often do in the summer to stop me having to pay their wages during pre-season with no competitive games. But anyway, that deal will probably go through off camera. And for the second of 3 games today, it is now time to revert back to a stronger lineup as we go to our tiki-taka system as we face Leicester in the FA Cup 4th round as we look to defend our trophy. And I'll never shut up about it. It's our trophy until at least the end of the season. And this is our team. Zangrandi's in goal. It's about for Sanabria, Pavlovic, Godfrey and Aaron with Longstaff, O'Connor and Mount through the middle. Provenzano is the advanced playmaker today. I know some of you guys have been saying we stopped playing him as a defensive midfielder and a deep line playmaker in this role here. But as I mentioned before, I just really like him now. I understand that he's got really poor defensive stats, 10 marking, 7 tackling and 10 strength as well, being the noteworthy ones. But I love having him as a deep line playmaker. I know it's not where he's best suited to, but I prefer playing him there. So yeah, that's why he has been playing there throughout the course of the save so far. With Bamber on international duty, he'll get the chance to play further forward, like a lot of you guys have been requesting. And up top, Teddy Gray and Ryan Brewster. On the bench, Henderson, Basia, Madu, Larici, Dembele, Crowley and Abbey as well. Second game, it's Leicester City with a much stronger lineup. Come on, you Canaries. I actually mentioned it in the description of my video yesterday. I've made so many tactical adjustments and, made so many changes to the way I've played the game based on your comments and based on your feedback throughout the course of the save. And I'll continue to take the feedback on board and make alterations when I see fit. But as I did say in the description yesterday, please do try and remember, guys, it's not all about having the best system, the best tactics, the best players, doing everything the possible best way it can be. It really is just about, having fun, most importantly. And I know winning can bring a lot of fun as well. But for me, I like to just set my players up and just play them where I think will be most fun. And that's why I've loved having Provenzano as a deep line playmaker. But again, today, he's getting the chance to play further forward. Although, in the first half, he's not done anything. The team's not done anything until right now, as we have our first highlight right before the break. O'Connor out wide to Jonathan Sanabria with space to whip in across here as he beats his man with a lovely burst of pace. And there's Teddy Gray to turn it in for his 13th goal of the season. I'm training his finishing. It is 14 right now. And I said this before when we signed him. If we can get it to 15, 16, perhaps at a push 17, we've got one of the world's best strikers. I love this burst of pace by Jonathan Sanabria to take it around Rodden, whips it into the centre, and Gray isn't going to miss. 1-0. I believe he's the 3rd highest scorer in the Premier League, Teddy Gray, with Ryan Brewster right now chasing his 2nd golden boot in 2 seasons. And as we lead by a goal, say nothing to the boys at the break. And uneventful game so far, but we'll lead them. I'd love to see Provenzano get a goal or an assist today, playing in a more advanced role. As Harvey Barnes heads on, but it will drop to Matty Longstaff in the Matteo role today. But still 1-0, half an hour to go. Leicester haven't really troubled us at all yet, and as things stand, it seems like it'll only be a matter of time before we find a second goal, and we will right there, as Max Aarons goes for goal from a ridiculously tight angle, which is a common problem we see every year in Football Manager, but Boyce Clark can only parry it, and who's there to turn in the rebound? Ryan Brewster. Both our strikers scoring today. Why on earth would Max Aarons shoot from there? I don't know, but either way, Brewster turns in a rebound, so I guess I'm pleased he did. 2-0, should be going through to the 5th round. Highlight for Leicester though, with 3 minutes to go. Oh wow, what have they done there? What have they just done there? Talk about hitting the self-destruct button, as Rhian Brewster should have had his second, but as we know with Brewster, he can score every type of goal apart from one-on-ones. Straight to the goalkeeper, still 2-0, but what happened there? There was a free kick just inside Leicester's half. There was no danger for them whatsoever, and he almost gifted us a third goal. One final chance in the final few seconds for a third goal. Can we get one? As Provenzano plays a lovely ball to Sanabria. I fucking love Provenzano. And Jonathan's cross is hit off the post by Teddy Gray. Soyuncu puts it behind for a corner, and that should do it then. 2-0 the final score into the 5th round of our FA Cup. And that right there is one of the reasons why I prefer Provenzano deeper too, because the way he opens up space is just a joy. And as a deep line playmaker, I just love the way, you know, just keeps hold of possession so well and finds those openings. And again, opens up space on the pitch all the time. It's great. But anyway, it is a 2-0 win. When is the draw for the 5th round? Is that tomorrow? No, it's not. It's on Monday the 25th. So yeah, we'll do that and then dive into the semi-final second leg against Arsenal, where again, I will pick a totally rotated side for it. I think we will lose and go out at the Emirates Stadium with a weakened lineup. But again, based on what we've seen throughout this season and this save, you just don't know. And Akuaku has just signed a new contract with the club as well. He was out of contract at the end of next season. And to be fair to Akuaku as well, I've actually been pretty happy with the way he's developed throughout the course of the season. Now, if you remember, in Season 1, he was the best youth prospect we had. And I talked about him and I said I highly doubt he'll ever feature for the club. But he's turned into a very solid, reliable 4th choice centre-half here. And whilst he doesn't play many games, he often plays in a cup in Europe. And again, often does exactly what we need. Nothing special, but does what we need. And you might notice as well, his determination started off horrendously poor. But now it's gone all the way up to 12. Where are we here? There we go. It's gone up to 12, whereas it started off at 3. Now, for those of you who have been asking me how I do this, it's no longer through tutoring, because tutoring is no longer a feature in the game, but it's done through what are called mentoring groups now. You get a mentoring group, and if you put in a youngster with players that have higher determination than them, they will eventually start to increase that attribute and also occasionally pick up player traits and might also change their personality as well. So I've said this before, I used to prefer tutoring. I love the idea of a senior pro taking a youngster under their wing and teaching them a few things, but I suppose mentoring groups are more realistic, and yeah, that's how Akuaku's development has been so good in terms of his determination. Signed a new 4-year deal. I like him as a squad player, and he'll remain that way for now. And just before our third and final game today, it is now time for the draw for the 5th round of our FA Cup. We're there, holders, Norwich City, and I won't let you forget it. Oh man, it's the only major honour we've won in 8 seasons. Let me boast for a bit. But anyway, let's see what we got. I'm anticipating a big team. Oh, I would have loved Ipswich at Portman Road in an East Anglian affair, but I'm predicting it will be a big team away. We've avoided all of the lower league sides. And we've got, Crystal Palace at home, which will be actually a very, very tough tie because Palace this season and last year as well did really, really well in the Premier League. Fourth to pace a little bit, now in 10th place, but still have a great team. And we'll be taking on Bobby Firmino, who will come back to Carrow Road, and Teddy Gray will take on his old side. So Crystal Palace in the 5th round of the FA Cup, even tie that one, could go either way. So moving into our third and final game of today's episode, the EFL Cup semi-final, second leg away at the Emirates. We're just about to see who will be going to the final in the other tie between Spurs and Stoke. The first leg finished 0-0 and the second leg finished, wait for it, 1-0 to Spurs. Oh, look at that. James Maddison scoring the only goal of the game. Will we be facing him at Wembley in the EFL Cup final? Tell you what, that would be very good indeed. But Alex Telles looks like he's going to be on his way out come the end of the season. He actually has told me he's going to run down his contract and leave come the end of the season, which, despite the fact he's emerging now as a deep line playmaker in this team, it's totally fine with me, as I didn't plan to give him a new contract anyway. But yep, let's dive into it then. Third and final game today, EFL Cup semi-final, second leg, and again, we will field a weakened team for this game as I continue to test my batshit mental theory that against bigger teams, you've got a better chance of getting a result if you use a strange, downright bizarre, and again, perhaps ham-fisted lineup. So let's do it then. I must say, I do actually think Arsenal will win tonight. I do think that we will lose this one. I mean, it's only a matter of time before surely one of our backup brigades get battered, and I think this will be the night as they need to overcome a 3-1 deficit. Score 2 goals and they're going through. So this will be our team for the game. Going back to our Gegenpress system, Dean is in between the sticks, and the back four is Warburton, Basira, Kuaku, and Aarons. The reason why I'm starting Max is because I forgot that Larici is suspended. Through the middle of the park, it's Tellez, O'Connor and Sardi as well. And on the wings, Madu, Dembele supporting Abbey up top. He scored 2 in the first leg. And on the bench, Zangrandi, Godfrey, Sanabria, Cardozo, a young Portuguese midfielder. Jokic, Crowley and Brewster as well. So yeah, third and final game, Arsenal away as we're 90 minutes away for a place at Wembley. I think we will have to score tonight in order to go through. Again, due to the fact Arsenal got that away goal at Carrow Road, I can't see them failing to score 2 goals they need tonight. So we'll need at least one ourselves. And again, I do think we'll go out. I do. I know this is a theory which has worked out so far, but surely at some point it's going to come to its end, right? As Tellez finds Sardi, and we look for the first highlight of the game, building from the back with a lovely little passing move here, as Tellez launched it to Dembele, down the right hand side, and Karamoko, trying to beat his man on a 1-on-1, steps round him, and still Dembele, wonderful run, but the shot easily saved, still 0-0. 11 minutes in, Arsenal looking for the first of 2 goals they will need tonight, and I think they're about to get it as well, because this highlight's been going on for a long time, as Solomon is played through, and puts it wide, escape there, that should have been 1-0. He's a great player, Manor Solomon, in Football Manager as well as FIFA Career Mode too. He develops really well in both games. As Aarons crosses to the middle and Madu can't win the header, but will drop to Warburton. And Drew's cross is going to drop to Bionic Legs and Abbey. Should have made it 1-0. Mendy charged it down, puts it behind for a corner, but that should have been Norwich in front. And the away goal we'll need tonight. In the back of the net. Scored 2 in the first leg. Really should have scored there as well. But still 0-0. And again, this result will see us through. But there's no way, as Mpadu heads that free kick over, we last a whole game with this lineup against the best team in England and keep a clean sheet away at the Emirates. Absolutely no way. But we are at the halfway point, and that is the case. So 45 more minutes of this, and we'll be going to Wembley. And it will be yet another game where we field a backup side against one of the big boys and we get a result. Surely not. I mean, surely Arsenal are going to score at some point. As Saka loses out to Drew Warburton, but wins it straight back off the left back, and away goes the speedster off the bench. Bags of pace and bundles of energy down the right hand side with Tellez to beat. Crosses to the middle, and Everton's shot brilliantly blocked by Aarons, but he gets another attempt at it and hits it straight at Dean Henderson. Should have been 1-0. Might be from this corner though. Saka floats in and Padu's header cleared away by Thomas Basir. But Arsenal really going at us now. Heavy spell of pressure here as they look for the opening goal. But we shall try and get it away only temporarily. Saka gets around Aarons and Henderson makes a brilliant save. Ezequiel Palacios out wide to Bukayo Saka, who's looked really good since coming off the bench. In goes the cross, Kuaku does well, and Dembele nods it back to Dean. 26 minutes. Arsenal are definitely going to score at some point, but at the moment, we're doing enough. Sigurdsson out wide to Shiati as Arsenal continue to keep the pressure on here, and we're struggling to withstand it. Warburton heads clip it straight to Johnson, who fires off target. If we can survive this weathered storm, then I think we'll be okay, 20 minutes to go, still goalless. Saka with the free kick, whips it in, and the header is turned in by Hicks, and there's one of the 2 they need. Can we see out the game with 4 minutes to go? It's going to be disallowed. It is, it's offside. Arsenal thought they got a goal, but it's disallowed for offside. Yeah, you can see the men there in the offside position, and that's why the goal's ruled out. Still 1-0, still 0-0, and, Jesus, Dean, come on, don't surrender this. Sigurdsson through to Saka, and he rounds Dean and makes it 1-0. So that was me thinking, it's okay, we're fine. Seconds later, Arsenal get the goal, and this one stands. Do I throw on a starter? Or keep faith with the backup brigade? No, I'm keeping faith with the backup boys. They got us here, they can see it out. Let's bring on Cardozo and operate as a ball-winning midfielder here, and see, as we'll also change our mentality, play at a lower tempo, go to a cautious approach, which I never like to do, to be fair. Regroup when we lose possession, drop our defensive line, much lower our line of engagement, stop pressing as much, stay on the feet, and also time waste a little bit as well, which I know can often backfire in FM, and see if we can see out these games. I'm trusting the backup brigade to see this out. We are 4 minutes away. Oh, I can see Arsenal scoring from our set piece here. O'Connor. Oh, God, no. First game for the club, comes off the bench. This is a striker that I'm trained to play ball in midfield, and he's just cheeked the ball in. That's what you got to call it. He's cheeked the ball in with the right hand side of his face. We've got the away goal. It's over now. Norwich City, with a fucking terrible lineup, have come to the best team in England, played brilliantly, got a draw, and are heading to Wembley. I tell you, it's a mental theory, but I truly believe it. When you play a backup team, you've got more of a chance of getting a result against a big team than you would if you use your starters. Norwich back in the Carabao Cup final and will be taking on James Maddison Spurs at Wembley. Unbelievable. Extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. And I will defend this theory until the day I die. When you're using a team like that, a backup team, you've got more of a chance of getting a result. I think if we picked a strong lineup for it, we would have been battered, but instead, we are through. So just a 1 win in 4 and 2 wins in 6 now, but after a succession of draws, we remain in the chase for the top 4, even though we dropped down to 7th now. If we win our game in hand against Leicester on the weekend, which I expect us to do, we'll jump back into 5th place and cut the gap on the Red Devils to just a point. We're into the Carabao Cup final, which is where at the end of February, and we're into the FA Cup 5th round as well. Absolutely buzzing. So that was today's episode of the Football Manager series, guys. So a big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy today's episode, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And we will, of course, return with that EFL Cup final at Wembley in a 1-game special as we take on Spurs, going for our second major honour of the save and going one step further than last year and picking up the trophy after our defeat to Manchester United last season. Have a great day, guys. Much love to you all. And I'll see you for the EFL Cup final against James Maddison Spurs at Wembley, where I might pick a backup team with Alex Telles, deep line playmaker, for the final. I'll see you for it very soon.